on, guys? So I've had some people asking me how I make my reptile vines, and I've done a video on that before on my old design, but I haven't shown off how I make these new ones here, which are really good, really sturdy, reliable, cheap to make, zero mess, and totally bendable, and animals love them. So let me take you through the process. What's great about these vines, obviously they're completely bendable and movable, really strong and sturdy. The material is actually rubber, and if you look closely it's actually really rough and textured, and that doesn't come off at all. And that's because of the rubber it's made of and how it's designed. So that makes them really durable and long lasting and really easy for the animals to grip into and climb around on, which is really what they're for. You can twist them into any sort of arrangement you want, and it's really handy because you can prop them up in any way you like, or you could even wrap them around each other and make them look really cool. Cool designs like that. And depending on what sort of wire you use on the inside of it, which I'll show you in a minute, will depend on how hard it is to move around. But if you need that stability for a bigger, heavier animal, then it's well worth it. This is how the vines begin. This is the raw product. This is actually a weeper hose. You can get these from Bunnings. It's about $35 for 15 meters of this. So it's really quite cost effective, and it's really strong, durable. It's meant to be outside all the time. Again, it's made from rubber and it's all rough feeling, so it already has that vine look. It simply just needs to be painted, or even the black look even looks good too. You can get this big thick one, or you can get this smaller one as well. This one's obviously cheaper, it's only 10 bucks for this thing. But these ones I've used in my baby forest dragon enclosure. And shout out to Professor Herb for asking me about them and getting my ass into gear for this video. These ones don't go as well, I find, if you do sharp bends on them. They end up splitting over time. I'll put in some footage now, so keep that in mind if you're going to use this smaller stuff. It does split if you bend it too harshly over time. But the large one is tough as anything. I bend it in all sorts and it's survived and it's still going strong in all my enclosures. So if you watched my other DIY vine making video, you'll remember these ones here. It's essentially a garden hose covered with cocoa fiber, and that's basically it. It has a metal rod through it so you can bend it. These don't work as well. It does sort of come off over time. That's why I changed over to these new ones. But making these new ones is essentially the exact same thing, except you skip all the messy stuff. You simply shove the metal wire through it all. I usually plug up the ends and then you can paint it as well, and you're done. The great thing about this stuff is because it's all porous, it's really easily bendable and movable, and the amount that you get for the price, once it's all done and together, it's so much cheaper than buying a Reptile branded vine, and it probably lasts better and it's less messy. So making these is really simple. Like I said, you simply decide how long you want it to be to suit your enclosure or whatever you want to do with it, and you can cut it with some scissors quite easily. So once you've cut your hose, I usually put wire through it all the way to the end. It slides through pretty easy, but it might get caught every now and then. Slide it right through till it's at the end, which is down there. I usually bring it back a little bit, and then from there you can cut it off. There you have it, ready to go. And so once your wire's in there, you can see it's already bendable, ready to go. If you're really lazy, there you go, there's your new Reptile vine. What I like to do is actually plug up the ends with some silicone, just so nothing can get in there. But again, if you're really lazy, you can just have it like this, ready to go. Also, if you want it to look a bit more naturalistic, you can paint it whatever colors you want. Like I've got this green one here behind me for a bit of a mossy looking vine, but then I've also in my forest dragon enclosures got more of a woody looking one that's a bit more brown in colour, a bit more natural looking. So whatever you like, all of them look great. They all have that really rough, viney look to them. The animals can grip onto them and climb them, and that's how I make my Reptile vines. So when you first make the vines, they're a bit straight, but good tip is to actually just do a lot of bending to it, bend it all around in certain different formations and stuff, and then when you sort of straighten it out again, it has that sort of twirly look to it like a lot of wild vines would. So Depends what look you're going for. But yeah, there's lots to do with these. They're so versatile again because they're fully bendable, really strong, and they're not messy. They're not falling off with a bunch of crap when you're trying to mess around with them and bend them. So there you have it, guys. That's how I make my reptile vines. I find they work really well. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration. If you're going to make some, send me a photo. I want to see people's designs with them and how they look in people's setups. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more Australian reptiles, DIY builds, and much, much more. See you guys. Have a good one.